All right, we're live. Now you can say hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Texas, y'all.
Tonya Peek.
Yay!
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much. You are inaugurating the Closer Club in Texas.
That's right. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Get to be your first. I'm excited.
Absolutely. My first in Texas. Let me do my intro and then I'll let you go. Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Vidal. I am the Regional Vice President for Coldwell Banker here in Dallas, Fort Worth. First episode, the 108th episode of the Closer Club, and today we are shooting with Tonya Peek. I may have even messed up because I think my camera may be getting a little bit of my tripod. I'm nervous, even though I've done 107 of these. It's my first one in Texas.
That's okay.
And if there's, they say in Texas, go big or go home, or everything's bigger in Texas.
That's right.
That's Tonya. She's got one of the biggest teams in all of the Dallas-Fort Worth entire Metroplex. And Tonya, I want to thank you so much for letting me break the seal in Texas. I appreciate it.
Well, welcome.
Thank you for
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, now I'm going to do something because it is live and we only messed up. Hold that for me 1 second because I don't want to have my camera. You see it is there. There we go. Let's see if we can move it up. There we go. All right.
Perfect.
Now we're back.
Now we're ready.
And here we go. All right, so let me tell you who I'm sitting with. This is Tonya Peek. She is the founder, team leader of the Tonya Peek Group. Wasn't always a team. We're going to talk about that because today's teams. One of the top teams, not only for Coldwell Banker and DFW, but in all of DFW in the entire marketplace. 60 plus million a year, consistently 3+ years in a row.
Correct.
So Tonya, here we are. You're doing all this, but you haven't always been in real estate.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your path to where you are today.
I've always been in sales. I started even in college. I had jobs that were outside sales, but the main job I did before real estate was pharmaceutical sales. I did that for about 7 years, and then I stayed home for a couple of years with the kids.
One of which is behind the camera.
One of which is behind the camera. And then Tiffany Sharkey was a good friend of mine and in real estate, and when I decided I was ready to get back to work, she mentored me and got me going, and I went with Ebby and got Rookie of the Year and haven't slowed down since.
There you go, and she's with Coldwell Banker now. Ebby, just so you know, for my Florida peeps watching this, DFW is Dallas-Fort Worth, by the way. Ebby is like the Kai's company of Texas, one of the largest independently owned.
Correct.
And how long have you been with Coldwell Banker now?
3 years.
3 years, and by the way, 3 years, she's done 60 million plus. I'm just saying. All right, so talk to me. You know what's interesting? What I found rare, right? July year over year, we crushed July 2019.
Yes.
This year.
Yes.
And it's kind of mystifying that the market is doing what it's doing.
Right.
What we have also noticed is, and this may fly away, is the great agents continue to do this during coronavirus. Everybody else is going here.
Right.
So it's like Pac-Man. They're eating more market share.
Right.
What are 3 or 4 things realtors should be doing right now to stay ahead of it and move forward in their career?
Well, to me, I think the most important thing right now is reaching out to your sphere, the people that you know, not necessarily hounding them about business, but just making sure they're okay, showing that you care, sure. Reaching out to them. I think that's been one of our biggest priorities. And I think the big thing with the team is during COVID, we didn't stop working. I mean, we kept calling people, we kept marketing, we kept nurturing. So instead of taking 2 months off like a lot of people did, and then you're trying to ramp back up, we continued to do Zoom calls and still have team meetings via Zoom, and just continued work as if it was not going on. So when the market did lift back up, we were ready to go.
That's right. Now, key word there, because it's so funny. A lot of agents that are struggling right now, you talk, well, when COVID hit.
Right.
And for you guys, it was never about when COVID hit.
Right.
It just changed your method of operation.
It just changed. We started working from home instead of in the office.
There you go. And now we're back in the office.
Yes.
Especially in Texas. I love it.
Yes.
Okay. So before we talk about teams, let's talk about sellers and buyers.
Okay.
You guys do a lot of listings. What are some, and you don't take every listing, which is amazing. I love that.
Correct.
Remember, sometimes the best listing is the one you didn't take.
Correct.
What are some techniques that you use to get listings on your terms?
On our terms, we need to make sure that it's actually a viable listing, that the house looks good, that the house is presentable, that's something we're excited about selling and marketing, and we need to make sure that the seller is realistic on how they price the home, the condition of the home, and make sure we're pricing it correctly, make sure it looks its best. So, I mean, we really do it on our terms as far as we go in there and let them know what it's going to take to get that house sold, and the seller really needs to listen to what we say, and if they do what we say, we will get it sold typically with multiple offers over asking.
Oh, that's right. And listen to the confidence in which she shares that answer. That's it, right? She believes in herself and her team so much that confidence carries over, and that's why sellers want to do business with you. Talk to me about buyers. Right now, multiple offer situation on a lot of properties. Buyers are liars. We all know that. So there's, to give my Florida peeps an example, there's 43,000 realtors in our marketplace, so not too different than Miami. What are you guys doing to earn a buyer's loyalty here?
We have a good reputation as far as being some of the best negotiators in the business in this area, and so a lot of people do choose to go with me and my team because when they are in a multiple offer situation, we know how to structure the offer so that we are the ones that typically win the offer. So they do know we have the best negotiating skills, and then we're really good about listening to the buyers. A lot of people just show buyers not exactly what they're looking for, so we listen to them, we care for them, and we really get enthralled in their lives because we are really meant to be here. They're realtors for life.
There you go. Realtors for life, key word. And number 2, she listens to what their buyers want. That's very important. Don't just show them anything.
Right.
Show them specifically what's going to hit their buttons. All
Correct.
right. Your wheelhouse. Teams.
Yes.
At what point did you go from being a single agent to when the light bulb went off? Says, hey, I'm done doing this by myself. I want to have a team. At what point did you go to that flipping of the switch?
Well, Terry had told me, my manager, for many years, you need to start a team, But I was like, no, I need to keep all this money myself. I have to keep it all myself. So it just got to where I was working 14-hour days. And so my first thing I did was hire a full-time assistant, which really allowed me to almost double my business. And then after that, after we still got busy and the business kept building, I hired one agent and then another agent. And now it's grown up to where I have 10 and working on getting another 5 to 10 in the next 2 years.
That's right. So it's interesting. So you got to a point to where when you were working so much, that's when you realized
Correct.
It's not worth the brain damage that I'm going through. Let me hire
It's not worth the brain damage, the lack of spending time with my family, and just all the time that you consume. So I mean, it just got to where I figured I could teach people what I know and then be able to help more people.
So at what point, if somebody's watching this and they want to start a team, right? What are some of the boxes or criteria they need to look for to say, hey, you know what? Okay, I'm ready to go for a team.
Well, if you're working constantly and you've got that much business, the number one thing you do, I think, is an assistant. A full-time assistant is your first thing that really kind of takes some of the back end work off of you so that you're spending your time doing more important things than some of the things that now you have more important things to do and your time is more precious.
Higher producing things, right?
Higher producing things to do. So I think that would be your number one thing. And then I would start small, maybe 1 or 2 people, and make sure you know how to train them and coach them and get them going, and then maybe start building from there.
Got it. So talk to me, because everybody looks at teams as being this glamorous thing, right? So there's definitely the positives and the cons. So what are some of the benefits of having a team and also some of the struggles of having a team?
The benefits are the camaraderie. I mean, we love all hanging out. We all love getting together. We all love sharing ideas. Anytime somebody has a question about a contract, you've got 8 other opinions to kind of help you. So you're not trying to figure it out all by yourself. So the training is huge, and that way they are able to learn from a group versus just trying to figure it out all by themselves. Okay. I think that would be one of the most important things.
And what about the struggles?
The struggles, I would think, is just making sure that your agents are educated and writing the contracts correctly and protecting the clients correctly. So, when they first get started, the first year to year and a half is just very time consuming as far as making sure that the agents are negotiating to the best of their abilities and writing the contracts that protects their clients the best.
There you go. Now, if you're interested in joining a team, I'm going to tell you one of the added benefits of Tonya's team is she has a boat and she takes her team out on the boat. Lake Louisville.
We have a lot of fun.
I got a pending invite. I got a pending invite for the boat. So agents are watching this saying, I want to join a team, right? What should they be asking of you as a team leader?
I would say some of the key points when I interview an agent to determine whether they get on my team or not, or I determine how hungry they are and how motivated they are. If they immediately start asking me about splits or leads, I know they're probably not my person, because I know those are not what drives the best agents. The best agents are the ones that are the most motivated, the most willing to learn, and just hungry and need to make money.
Amen. When an agent sits with us as leaders, what leads is like, oh boy,
yeah.
We have them, but we're not for you if that's your first thing.
If that's your first inclination is how many leads am I going to get? You're not the right person for me.
So, but let's say I want to join your team, right? What should I be asking you as a potential agent joining your team? What should I look for out of my team leader?
Out of what you looking for from me?
Yeah, so here I am, I'm a new agent. I want to join the Tonya Peek group.
Right.
I can join your team. There's 1,000 teams. Obviously, you're one of the best.
Right.
What should I be looking for out of my leader of a team?
I think one of the best things is I'm still in production, so I'm still in the trenches. I don't do full-time, but I am there enough to kind of be able to help the team with what they do. I feel another thing is the training. I allow them to shadow me and go on listing appointments with me and follow me on buyer appointments. I know there's a lot of team leads that are pretty much out of touch and just leave it up to other people to run the team, but no, I'm still very connected. And my biggest asset, and when I can see a team person go from really not knowing what they're doing to turn in a corner, is when they spend about a week in the car with me, just watching what I do.
There you go. Can you ride along? There's no. You can learn in the classroom,
Right.
but there's nothing like being on the ground.
You got to get on the streets.
There it is. All right, lightning round. The lightning round is famous at the Closer Club. So we're going to ask you 5 quick questions, 1 word, short answers.
Okay.
Best ROI for leads.
Your past clients, your SOI, your friends.
There you go. It doesn't change no matter how much business you do, guys. Favorite social media platform?
Facebook.
Facebook. 1 daily practice every agent should be doing to make their business better.
Time blocking.
Ooh, there's time. That's golden nugget right there, guys. What % of your income do you put back into marketing?
Probably about 10 to 15.
10 to 15. If you can pick only one way to prospect, what would it be?
Only phone calls.
Phone calls. There you go. I would have said door knocking. She said phone calls.
I say phone calls.
All right, and we're going to work with your. She's got a 19-year-old, 21-year-old getting into the business.
That's right.
We're working on teaching them how to door knock the way.
That's right.
Sold real estate. Okay, last question. We wrap up every interview this way. Book or podcast or TED Talk recommendation for the audience.
One of my favorite podcasts is Wealthability. That teaches you really how to save on taxes and what to do with your money when you have it in order to save.
Okay.
Wealthability, I like that. And of course, Tom Ferry, you never can go wrong with him.
There you go. Tonya,
Yes.
exceeded my expectations for episode 108, but
thank
most
you.
importantly, episode 1 from Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm going to go behind the camera and turn it off. If you got any parting words for the audience, go for it. If not, just say goodbye and we'll see you all later.
Thank you. Anybody, any comments or questions, reach Alec and he'll reach me.
There you go.